Just listen. There we go. Okay, we're on.
Okay, well, this morning I'll just say a little piece at the front, and then I'll take questions from Minda as we go along. But I really, 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 this is a tip of the hat, all right? And you rarely see that hair, and it's not that gray, by the way. Uh, but bottom line here is what you folks are doing, what you teachers are doing. It's all in your own time. It's all volunteer. And I'm just so impressed with everything. I want to say a big thank you. This is not the last session, but I still want to say a big thank you to the authors of the book and to the publishers of the book. Uh, we are going to be getting those books into your hands. There's a there's not a price, but there's a price, and Minda will go into that. Uh, to,
Yeah.
we want to get these books in your hand and get you started on them. And I am just so excited about this. This is basically my dream project. This will be, for me, this is a legacy project. So I am so pleased. And finally, another big thank you to Minda and all the people in her at her place. They've done some little graphic things for me and all kinds of things. They don't know it yet. They're going to get asked to do a little more uh, on some other things, but that's another time. But really, thank you for being here. Uh, we're going to get Minda's going to get you started, and then I think as we go through today's session, you're going to see, yep, you can get in there and start really doing the work that we're going to be doing, and it's so exciting. So that said, uh, I'll take questions from Minda as we go along, and it's all you now.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam. Thanks so much. Well, good afternoon, dear teachers. We are so very, very happy to have you with us. I was just saying, for those who weren't in the room, I hope you had a bit of rest. But as far as I know, teachers don't usually rest in the holidays. They are still busy doing something for the kids. So we've been a bit busy as well, and I'm very excited to share with you what we're going to share today. Today's session is all about helping you to take practical steps in your classroom. And before we get to that, just a little bit of housekeeping. So I hope you're ready for those practical steps. And I will be, let me quickly open the WhatsApp group. I'm not sure if you did receive those documents on the WhatsApp group. Let me quickly check here. We sent through the questionnaires. Okay, I'm going to give you that book right now. So while we are getting ready, I want to upload the PDF document for you guys. Let me quickly find it here. There we go. And there we go. That's the one. I'm putting it on the WhatsApp group right now. So that is going to be the book that we will be discussing today. And what I want you to know, what is important for Sam and myself and the rest of the team who's been presenting this training sessions to you guys. In October, we have our graduation. So each one who participated and completed the course will be receiving not just the books, but you're going to receive a certificate as well to show that you did attend Phonics to Meaning this year, and that you can add that value to your portfolio as well. But in order to come to our graduation ceremony or to receive your certificate, we request that you guys please do complete those questionnaires that we've sent to you at the end of each session. What is important there is that you will see on the WhatsApp group, we've given you the link to the video. So even the people who weren't able to attend, you can still go and watch the video and then you can complete the questionnaire. But the questionnaire is going to be the thing that we use to see who mastered the materials that we've been sharing with you. And I think that's just the beginning. I can't wait for more feedback from you, but that is at least just the start of it. So we know that you did look at the materials and you understand how it all works. All right. So what we're going to do today is, let me just try and share. Can I get a thumbs up maybe from one or two people? just to show me that you did receive those materials. I'm going to get the video record of the slideshow on. There we go. While we're waiting. All right. Yes, I see thumbs up. Brilliant. So you received it. So today's session is all going to be about practical steps. And I've asked Sam to enlighten us with his wisdom as we go through this. I had such a
Such as it
wonderful
is, such as it is.
I had such a wonderful discussion with him yesterday while we were looking at some of the materials. And I realized that he has so much wisdom. And guys, we are so, so fortunate to have him with us, to share that with us.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
No, Sam, we thank you. Okay, so let's start. So what we did is, guys, we tried to compile something for you as a teacher where you don't have to buy new resources. You can use what you have in your class already. There's no new theory, there's no extra cost. It is just the things that we have already worked with so that you know how to use it. And we've practiced these things, and I hope you've started with some of them in your classroom. But today's session is trying to bring it all just together as one. Okay, so it's not new theory. We've given you a game book for grade 3, but you can just as well just translate that to grade 4. The idea is just to give you, my dad always said we needed training. I want to give you a foot in the door so that the door is not closed anymore, but you need to open the door and start to become creative with what you already have in your classroom. Another thing that I also just want to mention here is, guys, whatever we're sharing with you today is part of CAPS. So it is just presenting our CAPS outcomes in a different way. So if there's any questions regarding that, we are absolutely within what CAPS is expecting of you as teachers. Okay, so we've created in our books, we're going to look at them in a short while. I just want to give you an overview. We've created a weekly pattern for you to use. And each week there's one story, and there's the phonics game, and there's fluency games. And you will be able, and these games are all structured around what we've learned from Mary Jo Fresh, what we've learned from Tim Rasinski, what we've learned from Prof. Harrison, what we've learned from Dr. Sam. And all of these things are now combined and integrated. If you have an open hand, you can't work that hard, but if you have a fist, you can really give a knockout. And that's what we want you guys to give to the kids, that knockout experience, how wonderful it is to play these games and to learn all these skills, and then it becomes part of their reading skills. Sam, anything that you want to add before we go on?
Well, just that motivation matters. Okay. And thanks to all the different things, what we want to do is the repeated reading. That's the basic theory. And Tim Rasinski has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that the repeated reading has a major impact. So we want that. But the problem is if you just have them reading, they get bored. But this lets them do the repeated reading in a fun way. This gets the science of reading. This is artfully teaching the science of reading. So this is artful teaching. And, I want to thank my whole team, my team, for the stories, the phonics games. Mary Jo Fresh really did a lot on that. And David Harrison on the stories. And all of this is designed to make sure that they cross that bridge from phonics to fluency. And in Mary Jo's book, I found it to be a refresher for me. There, I just feel safe that there's no question any kid can ask me that I can't go back and check Mary Jo's book and find the answer to on all these phonics things. So in case you didn't know them or the rest, you've got that going. And the stories are just amazing. So what we're doing is letting you put Dr. Rasinski's work
Mm.
into a fun setting. You're going to be artful teachers, and that's why we're calling it the artfully teaching the science of reading. So Rosinski's work, absolutely science. The artful teaching comes in with your stories, your phonics games, and the fluency games. And if I'm going to leave you with a thought here, it's motivation matters, and you're going to have that motivation. And I hope you were listening to Minda. Did you hear her voice? Did you hear the enthusiasm? That's catchy. And you need that same enthusiasm when you're working with your kids. So
Yeah.
that said, take it back over, Amanda.
Thanks, Sam. Thank you. Yes, and with the new book that just came out, I don't know if you guys read in our mails that we send and in the messages that I send you, the new book that just came out. It'll be in South Africa soon, and that's going to be absolutely fantastic. Having the poems and everything together with the phonics, oh my goodness. And what I love about the way that Sam and his team has brought this information to us, guys, we can make this part of who we are. It's not somebody else's ideas. It can become your story in the class using their strategy with your kids. What they know from their understanding where they are. So this can be used by anyone, anytime, if you just know how. And that's why it's such an amazing way of teaching our children. Okay, so we've got these three parts of every week's story. And as I said, it's not an add-on. This is going to be a part of the CAPS training. So there's listening and speaking. I just pulled out a few things from CAPS that we know is in the outcomes that the department expects from us as teachers. So we're looking at phonemic awareness. We're looking at expressive drama and group discussion. We're looking at the fluency and the phrasing, word families and rhyme patterns. And we're looking at morphology, grammar, and vocabulary through the word ladder. How amazing is that? And all of that contained in these games that we're going to play. So it becomes a really great way of teaching students. So we did the picking game in our one of our previous sessions, and we just brought it into this understanding of how a week can flow. And you guys will remember the story about Wit Warthog, who was part of the animals playing in the park, and they were playing hide and seek. But as they were choosing the teams, Wit wasn't chosen. And then in the end, a little mouse ran over. And so there's a value lesson in the story as well. And of course, the mouse said, together we'll be smart and we'll find the best hiding spots. And then Warthog felt included. So we're going to use this story to look at the R sound, like in park, dark, dart, cart, part, dart, start, and smart. Okay, and you will see as we go through the week how these words are used in your classroom. And in the end, I think it's around Thursday, we will be doing the word ladder. Okay, or it's in the second week. I'm not sure, but yeah. Okay, let's see where we get. It's somewhere there. Sam, you want to share something again?
Oh, well, actually, yes. For my audience on this side of the pond, you mentioned the caps, and I'm going to ask you to expand on
Okay,
that. We would have a different idea of what caps is, but caps is actually your the equivalent of it's
curriculum.
your national test that you have to do, and you have to do all the things for it. So basically, what you're doing is showing them that what we're doing is aligning to that. And I believe this program can be aligned to whatever framework you're
Right.
working on. But just so there's a different test CAPS test over here. So I wanted to make
Yeah.
sure of that.
Okay. Perfect. Yes. Yes. Let me just clarify that, Sam. So the CAPS is our curriculum outcomes that the education department expects from teachers. So they have to complete and achieve those outcomes as they are going through their yearly curriculum. Yeah. To clarify. Okay, you can go on. Is there something else you wanted to say?
Well, no, just once again,
Okay.
as you're doing all this, it's the kids are going to be doing this, and you're artfully teaching the science of reading. They're going to want to do this, and
Yeah.
that's great. Okay, That's it.
Yes, and we should be, sometimes when you're busy with a lesson, it feels like it's going to take so long. This is going to feel like time flies. So you better keep an eye on the watch when you start with this, because I have an idea that kids are absolutely just going to, as Sam said, they're going to love doing this. So let's quickly look at what we have here. We have our 5 days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. And our focus is the R word family. So when you have your books, when you've received your books from Mary Jo, you can also go and look in there for other games. The idea is to find games that will help your learners first to hear the sounds. Because remember, in South Africa, we're busy with our second language learners, some of them third language. English is their third language. And we want to make sure that they can hear the sounds. Well, sorry, that jumped. I don't know why, but there we go. So on the first day, the whole idea is write the R word, write it R, the sound on the board, and say clearly like R in park, and have the learners listen to the sound. And I also want to mention something here. It's important that I'm actually this happened this week with me. Let me tell you the story. My grandson is 3 years old, and he's now, he's a talkative little guy. Oh my goodness, he can talk so much, but he's still confusing his D and V sounds. So I'm trying to teach him V. So use your teeth and look at my face, look at my mouth, come on, and learn the sound. Don't just say it, look at yourself in the mirror. So we're playing a lot of fun games, and this is important for your learners as well. That's why it's important that you pronounce the sound correctly, and have them watch you, and then watch one another and help one another so that they can say the sound correctly and hear the sound correctly. And you will notice that we work a lot with the listening skills as well. Okay, Sam, you must tell me if you want to jump in. Okay.
Okay. Well, I just want to say, uh, first of all, don't say duh,
Yeah.
huh. Don't add that schwa sound when you're doing it. That
Uh-huh.
is very, very, very difficult when you're doing it virtually, and you really have to watch yourself on the virtual lessons.
Yeah.
But but most of your lessons are not going to be virtual, and most of them are going to be in person, which makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Sometimes, especially when I first did this, I was one day ahead of the kids. Okay.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
I was teaching myself to say the sounds correctly as well. So, Mary Jo has provided some links for you to
Mhm.
make sure the day before at least that you've got it before you try to give it to them. So, and I know that some of your folks said they just have that down cold, and that's fine, but some don't. And I love the fact that you can chat with one another
Mhm.
as teachers. So getting ideas about that, but just make sure uh, when I give general, when I do in servicing like this, I just warn people ahead of time. I don't want to hear any duh,
Mhm.
ah.
Quiet.
You have to, it has to be a short sound, which again is hard to do virtually, but easy to do when you're
Yeah.
in person. So that's just a little teacher tip.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks, Sam, for that. That's very important, guys, because if you look at the word park, if you teach per arc, it's not per hark, it's park. So the sound is actually okay. So that's exactly what Sam was saying now. It's very, very important. And for us, as most of us as teachers, we are second language, you know. So yeah, that's also very important for us to take note of. So guys, yeah, can you just mute yourself? Okay, I've got it there. Just keep yourself muted. Thank you so much. All right. So let me just correct something that I said earlier. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the days of the week. It is not. So that's the steps that you are going to go through. And you will be able to do this um, uh, on one day or on 2 days. You will see how it fits into your lesson. All right. So first we learn the sound. Then there are 10 words that we've given you there. And the idea is that the students become sound detectives. to hear which one of these words has the R sound in it and which of the words doesn't have the R sound in. And you see, we've put the thumbs up. Sam, you said something last night that was really interesting. What do you call this type of
Okay.
exercise?
Well, know first that I belong to this little important part of the United States called Missouri. And Missouri or Missouri, it depends on what part of the state you live in, how you say it. So I don't want to offend anybody in either part of the state. So Missouri or Missouri is the show me state. So when I do this with my kids, I say, well, we're going to play the show me game. So show me thumbs up or show me thumbs down. Now, here's the deal. If you're a careful observer, when the kids are doing that, show me, there's going to be one or two kids out there that wait until they see what people are doing and then they show you. You've just had a diagnosis. You just it's a as if you're willing to observe, you've just done a screening of who might not have this down yet, and that might be somebody that you might want to come back to and do some additional things with. So it's both. So show me, and the kids just love it. Show me. Uh,
Okay. That's wonderful.
I actually give a all right, well, now don't. And the first time they do it, there'll be about half the class showing you anyway. No, 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 no. Hey, let's try. Let's practice that again. Get ready. Show me. Okay. And so it gets. And notice I'm trying to be enthusiastic about it again.
Yeah.
And notice that if I'm observing, I can quickly make notes of who might not be getting this yet. Okay.
Yeah, that's fantastic, you guys. That's a very, very valuable input from Sam. To keep an eye out in your class while you're busy with this, which kids are struggling, and make a note of it, because those are the ones that you want to draw in maybe later and do some extra work with to help them to hear the sounds more clearly, so that they can identify them. So yes, and then confirm each yes with where that sound is in the story, what word is that, and the learners can then, after that, generate their own R words, and each correct word can earn a point for their row. And then collect all the R words that we've made and that we've heard and that we have identified on the board. And that starts our word wall for the week. Okay, so for Limpopo, guys, and I love this in our previous session, I think it was David who said, we should use the strengths of our learners as bridges to this new language that they are learning to read in. So you can use, for instance, words that has the sound. If you have a class that's mostly Sepedi learners, use that and say, listen to the Sepedi word. Can you hear the sound there? This is the same sound that we have in English words. So use that as a bridge for them to tap into the knowledge they already have and link new information to that. All right. So then the next thing that we can do is an echo game. So we just named it the Hot Diggity Dig Echo Game because of the poem that we did. But you noticed Sam has another name for Sound Detective. He calls it the Show It Game. So you can change the game names to whatever fits for you guys. Okay. So fluency development lesson. This is on Rasinski's framework. But what we're going to do here is the teacher reads a line aloud with full expression. Then the class echoes back the same line with the same expression, the same feeling, the same phrasing, not faster or louder, exactly the same. And this helps them to start to listen more deeply to how we read. Okay, then move through the whole text this way, one line at a time. And on the second run, a learner can then lead, and the teacher echoes with the class. And choose certain lines, for instance, the one that says, but nobody picked him, that the class do that together, just to bring them all together again. And the echo reading adds a prosody challenge, and the learners must listen before they read. So that helps them to hear expression before, to think about it, to sharpening the ear before the voice produce that specific type of expression. Now, if you are able to print that, this is very important. You can print the story. You will see in the book as well, we have it on one page for you to print. But if not, it will be good to have the text on the board. Why do we say that? We had a really interesting discussion yesterday. I have noticed in my, I've been visiting a couple of schools, number of schools, a lot of schools across the country. And what I've noticed is that we are often too quick to have our children memorize text, whether it's a poem or a story, or whether it's words, it doesn't matter. So we want them to memorize it, but this is not what we want to do with this specific challenge that we are giving our learners. Let me go back to week 1. It seems when I allow somebody into room, my text jumps. But anyway, so what we want to do is we want them to read. So even if they know the story, they must still have it in front of their eyes and they should still be reading it. That's very, very important. Sam?
Okay. And this is where Tim Rosinski is famous for talking about fluency is the bridge to comprehension. Well, how does that comprehension come about? Well, the answer lies very much in this phrasing part, because if I if I learn to not just read one word at a time like a rope. No, 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 no. That's not how real people talk. That's not how, notice, that's not how real people talk, comma. That's not how real people read. Okay, so the phraseology promotes comprehension. The other thing is, if you really understand the story, you really understand the characters, you're gonna know when that character gets mad. You're gonna know when that character is sad. You're gonna be able to tell as well. So this is where why does Tim's idea work? Well, part of the reason it works is that when you're teaching fluency, you're teaching this phrasing and you're teaching this knowing what the characters are like, and that's where the comprehension part comes in. So you're creating that bridge in this very artful way.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sam. So please make sure that your students have the text in front of them. They must be reading it, even if they know it, because, while we're busy doing that, as Sam says, using the phrasing, the prosody of the text while we're reading, that shows us they understand actually what they're reading. And at the same time, we are busy building that word recognition. We are busy building those pathways in their brains to help them to have a more fluent way of reading text. Okay, so that is very, very important.
And I'll just have one last
Yes.
add here, and that is the impact of just having them memorize these phrases
Mhm.
is very close to zero. Okay. Yeah, it's not a matter of memorizing. No, no, no. What you're doing is teaching them how to interact with the phrases, and that's where you form that bridge to comprehension. So simply going in and memorizing a bunch of words, that's not going to create fluency.
Yes.
It creates something, but it's not fluency.
Not what we're looking for. Thank you, Sam. Thanks. Okay, guys. So just to show you what is possible. So this is 1 week, but then we also have the same. Oops, I don't know what's going on here. Looks like my mouse is very sensitive today. Okay, so then we have the same sound in week 2, but we have another game to play. So here we play onset rhyme games. And that's why I love the books that you guys are going to have. I can't wait to get that resources into your hands. This is going to help you so much because you'll be able to just page through it and get so many ideas. But the idea is then to have a phonics game and to have a fluency game, again, using the same story. And this time we are looking at onset and rhyme. So first, what is the rhyme? Arc. So listen to P. I said the Sam, did you hear that?
I did.
Park.
Oh dear, oh dear. I would make a
Park.
note, and I've done it myself too many times.
And you know what? I found it's really, really difficult. If English is your second language, you've got to really watch out for this. So it's p, arc. And then did you hear the sound at the start? That's the onset. So if we swap the p for d, what is that? Park becomes dark. So can you see we're busy building that ladder? We're right here busy giving our learners the materials they need for our word ladder. And so we do formal swaps, show them the differences, and then they can do this in pairs. Partner A says an R word, and partner B swaps the onset. And both agree it is a real English word before they say it out loud. So here we can start to help them to, because there can be words when you learn sounds, you might make a word that's not really a word, but it has the sound, okay? So collect the real words on the board and then extend that word wall into the word ladder. Okay, so we're busy with onset rhyme manipulation, and the word ladder makes it visible. So this is entirely oral, guys. You will see at the bottom there's a note for Limpopo. Zero materials needed. Pairs whisper to each other. You don't need them to say it out loud. The real words are collected at the end and become part of our word wall, and then our fluency game. So with the fluency game, one learner in the group is appointed director for the round, and the director does not read a part, they listen and they coach. And the group performs the picking game script, which we have in the book as well. Let me quickly see here. We have it on page, I think we have it on page 98, page 8, yes. So we've got a script there for you. So you can use any story to create your own script. And this is the place where Sam said, artfully teaching the science of reading. So you can be artful there. After the performance, help the kids to give one compliment. I believe when you said Wood Warthog was sad, I really believe he was sad. And maybe Mouse needs to be sound a little bit more warmer. Help them to look at that. So the cool idea is to use a child that's not always talking so much, maybe the more quiet one, to be the director first. Because often those kids are the ones that really listen more, and they might be able to give some really good input. And then rotate the director so that the learners can each get an opportunity to be director. Um, so Thursday's dress rehearsal is exactly this game made in a formal way. If you look at our fluency development lesson right through the week. Okay. Sam, any comments from your side?
Just to clarify to anyone watching that every everyone that meets the criteria of having completed this well, in service will be
Mm.
getting the book. And the book is
Oh,
that
the book.
fluency development lesson
Yes.
plan. And boy, it is a thick binder. It has all the lessons for the full year of oh, oh, an, an extended set of grade levels. So that's Tim Rosinski's main author book, The Fluency Development Lesson Plan. And so every site has that. Uh,
Mm.
and just to make sure that's clear,
Yeah.
these are the two companion books, the Fluency Development Lesson Plan and Mary Jo Fresh's book. Together make a very powerful set. And each one of you that graduates, please, I want everyone to graduate. Each one of you that graduates will get that for free because of the generous donors that we've been able to
Yes.
line up, and because of the two publishers that have so
Yes.
generously discounted the initial price to help us be able to afford these for everyone that, so everyone that graduates, that's your graduation present. Okay.
Yes. Yes. And as I said, guys, that is what it's going to be amazing resources for you in your class. And that's the things that you can be so creative with. So just to remind you of how Fluency Development 5-day week is, where as a teacher you model the text and we introduce the phonics game. Then we have the choral reading. Phonics games begins in pairs. We have the small group rehearsals and phonics and fluency games together. And then on Thursday, there's our dress rehearsal and our consolidation of our phonics. And then on Friday, we have the grand performance and a word wall celebration. So, I know in South Africa, we have those spelling tests. So this could be something that you might be able to work in somewhere there, because I know that is quite expected of our teachers. So you can be really creative with this. And if you know, as Sam said, watch those learners. If you know where the gaps are, as an attentive teacher, even if you have a class of 30 or 40 kids before you, you will still be able to see which of those children are struggling. And you know what I would do? I would have my list and just make a few notes at the end of each session. So if I want to do something to help these kids, I can gather them all together and work with them in the areas where they might be struggling. Okay.
I
Yes,
will put
Sam,
a
go.
I want to put a plug in for two colleagues I've worked with a lot, and
Mhm.
that's Lee Marison and oh, senior moment here. Um,
Oh
Well,
dear.
I'll when I do the written part of the blog, I will mention
Yeah.
those two, and I want and Steinberg. Okay, my bad.
Okay.
Okay, so
Thanks.
what I want to say is both of them have uh, some very good ways of organizing small groups and using
Mhm.
those small groups effectively, and they're not everybody's in the small group. The small groups are
Yes.
formed as it's an as needed form of a small group. And that idea, by the way, came out of reading and writing workshop. So that as needed group can be very powerful, and it doesn't take a lot of time. And a lot of the kids kind of view it as something they get to do. So
Yeah.
as you're looking at those are two colleagues of mine that uh, I'll be mentioning in blogs in the future and saying, boy, you really got to visit their site because not only do they do that, but both of them are very masterful at doing the writing part of things, where there's a reading writing connection that can be really amazing. And
Wonderful.
so just wanted to put that plug in.
Thank you, Sam. That's a really great idea, guy. And I'll make sure that I get that links to some of the materials and send it through to our group as well. That's something that will be very valuable for you as a teacher. You'll be able to really use that. Um, okay. So, right, we are almost, sorry,
Uh-oh.
just want to make sure, guys, please keep yourself muted. It makes it easier for me and Sam. Otherwise, I think Sam's want to share something and he might think I want to share something. All right, so then let's look at our word ladder. So this is where the emotions live in our story. And there are a few words in here that's not in the story, and we can change them
I
or we
have
can
one.
leave them out. Um, and
And
we can leave them out, but you will see that, for instance, park is where all the animals played. Dark is how Warthog's heart felt when he wasn't chosen by the other groups. And dart is how the fast runners move. So they wanted to choose the runners who move the fastest. They were darting all over the place. And smart is what Little Mouse called him. And smart is the word that changed everything, because that's when Wit Warthog started to feel part of the group. And part, yeah, we got part in there. I want to say there's another word we can add. Okay, so the whole idea is to build this, and you will see in our books that we've shared with you. And guys, these are all just ideas for you to use. I think we've got a ladder on page 5, and you can use that, print it out, and have the kids write it, or on your board in the class, or you can even have them do it outside, draw their ladder in the dust, and get those words in there. Okay. I see some of our teachers are really struggling today with connectivity. Then they're in, then they're out. Don't worry. We are recording today's session and we will be uploading it for you guys to have access to so that you can see everything and maybe listen to it again so that it can really help you as much as we can. Okay.
Okay, and I want to say here there is
Yes.
something I would love for my teachers on my side of the uh, big ocean to use, and that is the way you pair them uh, and do it in a pair. And I'd like you to elaborate on that just a little bit. But that is such a good idea and such a good way to do it. Uh, so if you could reiterate that, I just want my people on this side to hear that idea. I just something I want to steal from you guys.
Okay, is that the emotional part of it, Sam, or just
Or
how the
the who's being paired.
oh, the
The
pairing. Okay.
yeah.
So in our classrooms, we will have kids often sit together, two kids at a table, and they can work together. So they will be able to, for instance, I say the word arc, and you can change to the next word. Okay, the first sound that I heard was d or d, and I will make it dark. And so we can share together, and then at the end of the day, make sure that the words that we've said is real words and write those onto something, and that will be the words that will go onto the board in the classroom. In our word web, that will become part of our word ladder that we will be doing at the end of the week.
And but part of what you do is share when you're doing that sharing, pairing
Yeah,
a somewhat weaker student with a somewhat stronger student,
stronger. Yes.
and that's great. And
Yeah.
what uh, that's also something I would like for them to consider,
Yeah.
because you've already found in your other work here that that's a good way to do it. And
Yes.
it's not unique to your setting, but it's just something I wanted to point out. I keep on wanting to try to give you kudos, and there's another kudo.
Yes, and that's important because as you know, peer education is an important part of what we do in South Africa, because oftentimes our classes are quite big. So it's always a good idea if they can work together. And then the feedback. The feedback is critical. So we don't want them just to work together. We need to get that circle of communication so that we hear what they've been doing and we can help wherever needed or adjust. And then they feel empowered by that as well. That is very special. Okay, so you will see in the book that we've created for you guys, it's almost like a card, a game card. So every page is like a card, and you can use that, put it up maybe somewhere in your class to help you through the steps as you're getting into this flow. And I think that is one of the things that I really want to mention is important for me, that this is almost like a flow that you can get into. We do the phonics, we do the fluency, and at the same time we keep it fun and engaging, trying new things. Don't do the same thing every week. Sam mentioned that in the beginning of our session. Try and keep it fun and interesting for the children, and be flexible so that you can change it if you need to. And if you have the resources and you have the knowledge, you've been maybe doing this for a month or two, oh my goodness, you're going to become pro reading teachers in your classrooms. Okay. Um, okay, so as I said, this is can be adapted for small groups, for it can be for large classes. If you have limited resources, if you have more resources, you can use that as well. And then, of course, multilingual classrooms are a strength here. It's not a barrier. And I want you always to remember that. I think for too long, we have thought that our multilingual classrooms is a barrier. It is not. We just need to know how to use that, to the strengths that our learners already have, to help them to bridge into the new language that they are busy working with. Okay. So, Sam, any comments from your side? I think we're almost done for today.
Okay. Well, what I love about this whole thing is that by the time you've done this for the full semester,
Mm,
okay, and you and the kids are into the routines, and you truly have been artfully teaching the science of reading, and taking advantage of everything that Tim and his colleagues have put together on that part. And for some of you, and for some, even for me, uh, getting those sounds down, uh, and it's okay to be one. You have to be one day ahead of the kids. Let's get that straight. So
yes.
don't be, please don't be teaching them incorrect sounds. And boy, then you've got to go back and uh, undo what you've done.
Yeah.
You want to be sure of that.
Yeah.
And finally, the supporting ideas for both between kids and also among teachers, because I love the fact that you've built in that chat with each other, so that it gets you, if one part of this is your weakness, try to partner with somebody that can help you along.
Yes.
And One of the things I found is the best way to learn something is to teach it. So for the other partner, they're also getting something out of this. And I just think this whole system that you've put together, and you've got a name for it, and give that name one last time when you finish
Phonics to
up.
meaning.
Okay, so I want you to make sure that you are uh, viewing this as, boy, we're all learning, we're all coming along, and both the student pairs are helping each other along as they go along, and you've got it set up so that the teacher pairs can also help each other. So,
Yeah.
and wherever I think most of you are in that classroom setting where you're not doing it online. And I will give you one last kudo. When you went back and did that demonstration of sound, where you were trying to do it right, you really did it masterfully. That's hard to do when you're on uh, a Zoom lesson, when you're online. It's much easier to do when you're in person. So just be careful of that. Okay, so
Thanks, Sam.
I'm really, 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 really looking forward to this whole group artfully teaching the sound, the
Science of
science of
reading.
reading.
Yes.
There we are.
Yes, there we go. Artfully teaching the science of reading. Yes, and I think it's important what Sam said, guys. We are on a WhatsApp group, and we are a team. I've mentioned it on the group for you a couple of times. You are more than welcome if you have questions, and we want to see how we can work together. So that's one of the reasons I'm really, really looking forward to our graduation. Because we're going to have it. Most of you are in Limpopo, so I think most will be able to come and visit us here in Mokopane, where I am, and so that we can see one another. I know that some of you are together in schools, and it's important that we support one another as much as possible, and get these things, get into the flow and learn how to use it more artfully. And the more you use something, the more artfully you can use it. Isn't it true?
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Yes.
Uh, so, Sam, is there any last words before I finish off for us today?
Well, I just want to say it on a personal note. This is basically my legacy project. I'm not getting any younger, and I, it would really do my heart wonders to see this fully implemented and to see what it looks like. Uh, uh, I think that I have predictions about this uh, all, going all over the world. The other thing I want to mention is that the folks writing the books about artfully teaching the science of reading, they're churning them out faster than I can interview them. Uh, there's it, I This is a movement, folks. This is a worldwide movement. And I want to emphasize it's not just, it's a movement that I know has started in the United States. It's grassroots, but it's also a worldwide movement. I want the people in the United States to be aware that that's happening not just there, not just in the United States, but everywhere. So I think that this could very well be. It's that grassroots group, and I think it's making the changes that we need to make it all work. And
Mm,
I'll finally address this to my older teachers of older children who are non-readers. Well, that's what you're working with right here, right now. Okay. And you're going to, and I have every confidence that this is going to take off and work. So this is
yes.
why I'm really pushing the idea that they consider
Yeah.
something like this model. And now this is what it looks like. It's not the
Mm,
only way to do it, but it is a way to
yeah.
do it. And
Yes.
now I talk too much.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Sam. I
And
wish I can listen to you the whole day.
Okay. Well, my final thing is a big thank you to all the teachers out there in this program and to you for what you're doing. Good.
Thank you.
uh,
Thank you, Sam. Thank you so much, teachers. So we will have our final session. Session 9 is going to be on the 4th of August. That is next week. And then we have our certification in October. So what we ask of you is try one full week. Do the whole, choose a week. And whatever you are busy with, you can adjust it. But try the story, the phonics games, the fluency game with your class. And if you are doing it, please send us that feedback. We want to know. Don't just answer the questions that we are sending to you on the Google form because that's the ones you have to complete. But I have received some videos. I've received even some ideas from teachers what they've done in their classes, and I absolutely love it. And I said to Sam yesterday, we will be completing a report at the end of everything. So please send us that and we'll be in contact with you. If we need, maybe you can give us a photo of yourself or of your school so that people can see where these things are happening. Guys, what Sam just said is amazing. This is not something that is just a small group somewhere. This is happening all over. I often say to people, we have a great challenge in South Africa with our reading outcomes. You guys know the previous Pearls outcomes where we were. South Africa came last. And we are working here with grade 3 and 4 kids. Guys, if we can make an impact, by the time these kids are in grade 6, we will have a completely different cohort in our classes. And that's what it's all about. Giving them the keys to unlock all that knowledge that we are trying so hard for them to grasp in our classrooms, right? And what better way to do it than doing it artfully, doing it in a fun way that every child loves. Children love to learn while they are playing. So let's use that. And once again, from my side, I'm so thankful for each one of you. And I'm so thankful for Sam and the team. And we are looking forward. Next week, we'll have Sam again with us. And it's going to be our final session. And that's not the end. The final session is just the beginning, not the end. Isn't that right? Okay.
I, I, yeah, well, there's even a song about that. Yeah. So bottom line here, folks, is what you're doing is amazing. And we both just can't thank you enough. And that's what I've got to say.
Thank you, Sam. Okay, everybody, we'll be sending you those links through in the next few days. Please complete them. We'll be uploading the video and send the link through to you. And have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week. Sam, take care. And everyone else, stay safe out there.
Okay. And
Bye-bye.
could
Yes,
you
Sam.
send me a link to talk to you right after this? Okay.
Sure, we'll do. Okay, Sam.
Okay.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.